We got more clips from OTAs, and today we're going to be looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars, getting a good look at Trevor Lawrence as Jacksonville just wrapped up practice today. We're going to watch him work through some drills, throw the ball around. Also, we'll get a quick look at Gabe Davis as well, working with Trevor Lawrence. Before we dig in, though, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're going hard in the paint, looking at the rookies, looking at these veterans on different teams, coming back from injury, all the top storylines. Click that button. Stop missing out on your favorite players. Now it's time to look at Trevor Lawrence, and we do have some Gabe Davis sprinkled in there. 2 minutes, 44 seconds. The beginning is from today's practice. The back minute of this, older clips, I think mostly from the first day. But there he is. We're in the hat. The locks are flowing downfield. Gabe Davis already. Big catch downfield. If I find more clips on Gabe Davis, I will have a separate video on him. But I got a couple. Christian Kirk in the background on that previous clip. There he is again. Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball around. Travis Etienne. So all the stars are here. The stars are out for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, composed. Working through some drills here with the team. Handing it off. There we go again. Working on the feet, fluid footwork, sling the rock out, getting it out. I think we saw a little Evan Ingram there. There's Etienne again. And we're building a rapport with Gabe Davis. Watch their feet. They just step at the same time, linked up. I do not understand. I just noticed that. Christian Kirk again. I think we might have saw that clip earlier. That's just from a different beat writer. Him going through the huddle, calling out the play. Now we're going to some old clips that we've covered before, but I had them, so might as well, right? If I'm a Jaguar fan, I'm not going to care too much about that. Him tossing the ball around, getting limber, getting loose. Hand off to Etienne again. I don't know if I called him Trevor or Travis. I get those names mixed up. His younger brother's name. I don't know if I said that earlier, but I think you guys know what I'm saying. I'm already correcting the comments, but the fast feet. Getting the ball out there. There he is. Brian Thomas Jr. I got one clip of him. It's not great, so if I can find another one, I'll have a video out on him. Trevor Lawrence getting the ball out. Moving around drills. Feet looking good. Looking smooth. OTAs look like OTAs. Everything looking good from Trevor Lawrence. From what I've read, from what I've seen, from all the clips. Seen more clips than this because we've been talking about Brian Thomas Jr. a lot. A lot. Every week they give us a video of him making a catch like this. Making a catch like this. Brian Thomas Jr. You came for the Travis Etienne, the Trevor Lawrences of the world, but you stayed for the Brian Thomas Jr. There he is again. There he is again. Working on the feet. Working on the feet. Pop, pop, pop. Moving. Bam. Trevor Lawrence has a lot of upside this year. Trevor Lawrence, if he takes a step forward and plays to his upside to what we saw during the draft process, during the high school recruiting process, during that back in the day, and if these pieces can hit, and I'm looking at you, Brian Thomas Jr., because everything else we know the story about. We know about you, Kirk. We know about Evan Ingram. We know about Gabe Davis to a degree, but not with Trevor Lawrence. But Brian Thomas Jr., this is a low-key spot for a first-round wide receiver because we have so many good wide receivers in this draft, but he's paired with a quarterback that wants to push it downfield. The advanced metrics says that. We see that on tape. We saw that at Clemson. We saw that in high school. It is bred in him. It is in his blood. He wants to push the ball downfield. Now we got a wide receiver here with 4.3 speed with a nasty release package who is gangster at the catch point, who can also create separation. They got in the first round. Everybody's ignoring it. LSU wide receiver, not named one of the top guys there. But if you're an LSU fan, college football fan, you know about Brian Thomas Jr. A legit wide receiver prospect there that can take games over. And we got speed to burn. We're quick, fast off the release. Nasty release package. Can create separation. If he can link up with Trevor Lawrence, if he can develop, whether it's this year, later this year, next year, if we can show some promise, usually stud wide receivers, they kind of flash that sooner than later, within the first year or so. So, I mean, in the second season or so. But can we get that? Because that could be that final domino in the offense that turns things around. That could definitely be that. And if that's the case, then the Jaguars could go deeper than expected. If that's the case, the Jaguars could be the surprise team here that no one's really talking about. Everybody kind of knowing Trevor Lawrence. They know about him. They're sleeping on him a little bit. They're thinking he's kind of washed, kind of not. They don't know what to really think about him. But what if that final piece to the puzzle for Trevor Lawrence is Brian Thomas Jr.? What if that is the match made in heaven, and now you have a stud tight end, Evan Ingram. You need to give him his flowers. He's been balling out. You got Christian Kirk there in the slots. You picked up Gabe Davis. So you got Brian Thomas Jr. and Gabe Davis running on the outside, Kirk in the slot. You got Evan Ingram. That being said, Brian Thomas Jr. hits early, hits quick. These Jaguars are going to be different. These Jaguars are, and Trevor Lawrence is going to look different. And if Christian Kirk's still doing his thing in the slot, and Gabe Davis getting downfield, making plays happen, being a field stretcher, that's what he was in Buffalo, we could have something here. I think the X factor here for Trevor Lawrence, and I know the media is pushing the Gabe Davis knowledge right now, the Gabe Davis propaganda on Twitter, because that's what I'm seeing this morning. It's Brian Thomas Jr. If he takes that step forward and he develops fast to the NFL game and pairs up well with Trevor Lawrence, this team could be nasty. This team could be nasty. Trevor Lawrence could be nasty, and that's all it takes. That's all it's going to take. And that could happen. The upside's there. The downside, we already know what that's about. Why focus on that? We already know it. But what if? What if that hits? And that could be sooner than later, because rookies or young wide receivers or wide receivers in general who tap into their upside tend to do it early in their career, and that might happen. The Jaguars drafted him thinking that could happen. If not, they would not have spent a first-round pick. They thought that's in the cards. They think, hey, this could pair nicely with Trevor Lawrence. We want this. We need speed. Here we go. We got our 4-3 wide receiver with good ball skills, ready to rip it with Trevor Lawrence. I know this became a Brian Thomas Jr. video, but if this happens, watch out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. One, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.